All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to take what we learned yesterday with our slope formula, and we're going to apply it today off of a graph. So where yesterday we were doing off of 2 points and off of a t-chart, today we're going to be looking at a graph and taking points off of the graph and plug them into the slope formula in order to determine what is our slope. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, in order to be able to do that, one, you have to be able to find points on a graph, and the other is you need to know what is the y-intercept, what is the x-intercept, things like that. Well, your y-intercept is where your line crosses the y-axis. So like right here, I have this drawn up. The line crosses the y-axis. Remember, this is your y, this is your x. Okay, this is your x, this is your y. Okay, where this line crosses this y-axis, that's called your y-intercept. Where this line crosses your x-axis, that's your x-intercept. This y-intercept is really going to be important as we move forward, so that's why I'm kind of focusing in on that one as the one that we're going to be working with the most. Okay, so pay attention to that. Make sure you can identify your y-intercept. Okay, so as far as doing the work today, it's really just like what we did yesterday. We're going to find 2 points, we're going to plug them into our slope formula, and we're going to determine what is the slope. Remember, you can have a positive slope, you can have a negative slope, you can have a slope with a fraction. It's fine. Okay, all those things are fine. So we're going to look at our deal, and it says, what is the rate of change? Okay, rate of change is just referring to the slope. That's what it's referring to. Okay, use the y-intercept and the purple dot. Okay, so the y-intercept, where does this line cross the y-axis? And the purple dot, so we're looking down here at this dot down here, okay? And the exact answer is required. Okay? So here we go. We're going to use the y-intercept. Okay, so watch these graphs. Okay, a lot of you learned rise over run in 7th grade. Guys, I'm not going to use rise over run for this. And I'm not going to do that because how they count this off. Okay, if you got to be paying attention to how they count it off, otherwise you're going to make a mistake. The easiest thing is just plot the point. Plot the point, have the ordered pair there. So that's what we're going to do here. Well, what we know about the y-intercept is that the x is always 0 on the y-intercept. So here, I know that this line crosses through that 200. I know that the x is always 0 on that one. So here, 0, 200. So now all I got to do is go down here and get another point, another ordered pair. Do that. So do the x. Come over here. X is 5. Down. Y is negative 500. And that's okay. Now here's the thing. Look at your line. This is a great trick. Look at your line. It's going downward. Your slope should be negative. This line is going downward, and you read the graph from left to right. Okay? As this is going downward, you should know I should have a negative slope. If when you're done with this, you don't have a negative slope, you have a mistake. If it's going upward, you should have a positive slope. If you don't have that, then you've made a mistake. You pay attention to what's going on with the graph. It'll help you to determine if your slope is correct or not. All right, so here we go. We're going to take these 2 points and we're going to plug them into our slope formula. Remember, this is the change in the y's over the change in the x's. And the moment that I choose one of these and put it in place, it determines where everything else goes on this. So, here we go. We're just going to pick one. It doesn't matter which one. Pick one and put it into place as long as I put a y into a y spot and an x into the x spot. Now here, pick one. I'm going to choose this one, negative 500. The moment I choose that one, that forces this 5 to go right underneath it. Okay? The moment I chose that to go in for my y here, because this is the y, remember, this is your x, this is your y, this is your x, this is your y. Okay? The moment I took this y and put it into the first y spot, right there, that forces the x to go there. That's associated with it. Okay? They go together. Okay? Minus and minus, because that's a part of formula. And now the other y, 200 and 0. Now here I'm going to come through here, I'm going to do click, click, and I've got negative 500 plus negative 200, that gets me negative 700 over 5 minus 0, which is 5. Now I need to reduce this. All right, so I know 5 divides evenly into this, so I'm going to divide by 5, and I'm going to do this, make it easier on myself. 2, okay, 140. Okay, so I got 140 over 1, negative, because this is a negative number. Okay, so I got a negative 140 over 1. So my slope, my rate of change, is negative 140 over 1, or negative 140. And I think Get More Math will take either one of these. It should. I'm going to plug this one in. I know it should. I know it'll take this one. I'm going to plug this one in and see if it'll take this one. So. Yep. Yeah, it absolutely should take that. Okay. And this looks a little bit, looks like there's a lot there, but I mean, guys, most of us are going to use our calculator here. Okay. Some of us might even use our calculators here, though we should be able to do this. Okay. But it's not as bad as it looks. And the moment that you get them plugged into the right spot, you're off and running. Okay. We're going to do another one. One more. Same setup though, same setup. Clean that off. Same thing. What is the rate of change? Use the y-intercept and the purple dot. Again, purple dot's down here, y-intercept's right there. Get your ordered pairs. Remember, x is always 0 on your y-intercept. Now all I need is the other point. 200, perfect. 200. Now I'm going to go find my other point, which is down here. Do my x first. Now look how they go up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So here, 20, 30, 25. So I know the x is 25. Go down. Now look, negative 100, negative 200. That's at the negative 200. There's my point. Negative 200. And now I'm going to do this. Again, look at my line. From left to right is how you read it. It's a negative. I should get a negative slope. If I don't get a negative slope, I've done something wrong. All right. So here, this time I'm going to plug in an x first. I'm going to plug 25 here. Well, I put 25 here. That forces this to go up here. Now I've got negative 200. I always do the y's first because it's the easiest thing for me to recognize, but get consistent with what you do. Negative 200, 25, that ordered pair goes together. Minus, minus, and now that means that this one is the next one here. This is your x, goes in the x spot. This is your y, goes in the y spot. Hang on guys, that's my phone. Let me fix that. Sorry. Okay, negative 200, minus 200, 25, minus 0. Click, click. So far, all right. Negative 200 plus negative 200 gets me negative 400 over 25 minus 0 gets me 25. Reduce that. You can divide both by 25. 25, let's see, 4, 8, 12, should be 16 over, no, is that right? 4, 8, 12, 6, yeah, it should be 16 over 1, it should be negative, okay? So there we go, and guys, trust me, I understand you're going to use a calculator right here, that's fine, okay? But that's all there is to do. Make sure you have it reduced. Make sure you have it reduced. Okay, The other one is or negative 16. Since I did the fraction the last time, I'm gonna plug in this one and see if it'll take that. But it should take this, because these two things are the same thing. So we'll do that. Negative 16, yep, takes that. Now look, okay, same thing, same question, same thing, but now it's going up and your y-intercept is down here. Well, 0, negative 800, over here, you're gonna count over 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 25, and then, 0, negative 400, that's negative 200. Watch that. Watch the rates at which they go. Okay? That's the reason we don't use the rise over run on this. We're using the slope formula, because these rated changes are very difficult, so watch those. Okay? All right. I mean, that's all there really is to it. The best thing you can do is just get a ton of practice doing this. Ton of practice using your slope formula. Ton of practice in pulling off ordered pairs off of the graph. Recognizing your y-intercept. That's what you need to do in order to get better at this. Watch where you put these on your slope formula. If you do that, you'll be fine. If you have any questions, let me know.